Well, might as well go live because this is a disaster. The Clippers are getting smoked now in Phoenix, down 99-77 with 9 minutes left. Make me look like a fool and come back and win this one, Clippers. But down 22 with 9 minutes left. There haven't been many comebacks like that in NBA history, if at all. Clippers in trouble in Phoenix. As it's getting late early here, Carlo, with the Clippers trailing by 22 as the Phoenix Suns are hotter than the center of the sun from distance as they continue to pour it on with three balls. Yeah, and unfortunately, the majority of those coming in the second half from the Clippers. I'm multitasking, guys. We can at least be together. This is just painful. The Clippers had a 3-point lead at the half. They led at the half against OKC. Ended up getting blown out. The Suns started 4 for 4 from 3 and 8 of 8 from the field in the third quarter. It's just the crazy hot shooting. And some of it was bad rotations from the Clippers defensively. Ryan Dunn dunk now. Clippers down 101-77. Clippers have officially not taken advantage of the early season schedule. At best, they're going to be 5-5 the first 10 games. I see you guys in the chat. Everybody's freaking out. I get it. I know they don't have James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, but they were competing in this game.
Oh, no.
Allen 3. The Suns have 17 threes. It's 104-79. This is just shockingly bad. Part of it is the hot shooting of the Suns, but the Clippers offensively, they fell apart in the second half. They stopped playing through Zoo. They didn't play through him enough. Seemed like they got caught up in the three-point game trying to outduel the Phoenix Suns from distance. That wasn't going to happen. 104-83. We got a timeout. Yeah. I thought Zoo was pretty good. That's about
the last break.
That's about it.
I appreciate
Make
it.
sure.
That's it.
I don't want Carlos. We could.
Yeah.
My guy Carlo doing the Lord's work in this one. These are the games where you separate yourself as a play-by-play man. The good games are a lot easier. The bad games, to keep people listening and entertained, that's where you make your money. And the Clippers are about to be 3-5. CP3 did hit his first two-pointer of the season in this game. Oh, I'm doing Collins tonight. I might start doing them before the game's over. J-Dog's going to crash out like Crash Bandicoot. This is just an absolute disaster to starting off the season like this. To start off the season like this, as bad as it gets. Like worst case scenario, worst case, I thought 6-4. At best, they can be 5-5 in the first 10 games. Have I mentioned urgency? I did a show on that before the OKC game. You guys have been criticizing Ty, so you ain't got to ask me permission. Clippers trailing 104-83. 7:14 left in the fourth quarter. This Clippers team was leading by 3 at the half. Hard to believe at this point, Carlo, but they were leading by 1 over the OKC Thunder after the first half as well, and things just fell apart here in the second half with turnovers and hot shooting from the opposition. The Suns missed a 3, but they got an offensive rebound. They got 15 offensive rebounds in this game. Even when they missed, and this happened at the end of the third quarter, they got boards. When it rains, it pours. I don't know what positives I'm going to be able to find. Cam Christie got run. Had a tough layup. Zoo looked like himself before the game got out of hand and the Clippers settled for threes. I mean, if you think John Collins is the difference in this game, I'm not saying, look, he's got 13 points. He's hit a couple of three-pointers. He's also got 3 turnovers, and he has had some bad ones. There is a lot more going on than just John Collins. Let me put it that way, not in the starting lineup. We got to understand that, guys. Please. We're losing on Sunday, too. Book it. They don't even play Sunday. Things are that bad? They play the Suns Saturday night. Head into it. This is way more than a lineup here or there to save this team, guys. There's so many moving parts. Dark times to start off this season. Here's some positivity. We'll bounce back in December. Wait, how many days are left in this month? We can't wait that long. If you want to be a top 3 or 4 seed in the West, you got to have a sense of urgency. I'm not saying urgency was necessarily the problem tonight. They're down their 2 best players. But Bradley Beal's shooting this poorly. Dear God. 2 of 14 back in Phoenix. Hope he got it out of his system. Still only played 20 minutes. This time I'm not sure if it was the minutes restriction or the fact that they started getting blown out. Suns were hot. I mean, they were like 13th in 3-point percentage coming into this game. They start 4 of 4 in the third quarter after they went cold in the second quarter. Really, the main reason the Clippers took the lead is the Suns just went cold. Clippers may have had a part of that, but they scored 17 points in the second quarter. The Suns had 16 points like in the first 3 minutes of the third. Again, people just thinking John Collins solves everything right now. I don't know what to tell you. John Collins got so lost on defense in a play in the third quarter early on, leaving a man open from 3. Like, I'm for him starting. I've never had an issue with that. But I'm just warning you, it's not that simple. Yannick could be coming in. Yeah, Cam Christie in this game, one of the lone bright spots. This is somebody that, was playing early on before the game got out of hand here. Had a really nice layup in traffic, a tough layup. Thought there might have been a foul as well. Didn't get the call as a young player, but Cam Christie looks wise beyond his years in this one. The game wasn't moving too fast for him. Talking back and forth with Carlo. God, there's still 5 minutes and 27 seconds left in the fourth. Likely too little too late, but we'll take what we can get and just see if they can carry over any of this into their next game against Phoenix back at Intuit Dome on Saturday. Yeah, if you think Cam is saving the season right now, I would love that. I'm the biggest Cam I am fan, Killer Cam fan, but look, if CP3 doesn't pick it up, if Bogey doesn't pick it up, he's going to get more minutes. Christie a 3, 13-point game, 105-92. Do it, Clippers. Do it. Suns bucket. Christie's shot, I've been saying since they drafted him, is just gorgeous. Sidney Sweeney's got nothing on Cam Christie's jumper. Cam is really cooking now. He's got another bucket. Suns still have Booker out there. Let me tell you, if Cam can be the guy that saves this team with some youth, I would love it. He's the young guy I've been highest on. I thought he was a year away coming in, but I didn't expect CP3 and Bogey to be playing this poorly. Could need a young guard. Could use them. Just when the Clippers are healthy, though, it's going to be tough for him to get minutes. Unless CP3 really keeps struggling. Bogey's still struggling, too. Cam Christie needs to start. Okay. Let's come on. Booker jumper. That should do it. They're back up 14. They got it down to 11. Was it 12? 107.95. Telford missed a free throw. Could have been 11. Could have been a lot of things tonight. Sadly, we got another L incoming. It's painful. Giannis coming in. Some people are going to be like, the game's not over, Adam. Why are you tweeting out they got blown out in Phoenix? Because it's been over. Just know, guys, I am the receipt master. At least Cam's hitting another three. He's got 17. $11-point game. 2 minutes left.
Oh, good.
They answer with the three.
Unbelievable.
That'll do it. I could have said that after 5 minutes of the third quarter, but at least they get the Suns again.
Hey.
Damian, I've been talking about Cam going back to the draft. You're way behind me. Don't make me pull those receipts. I've been talking about him having a jumper and shot for him like Michael Porter Jr. and Devin Booker. I said that as soon as he was drafted. Cam has a beaut of a jump shot. I love you, Damian, but you don't want to come at me. Not about Cam. And this summer, I did shows after every summer league game talking about Cam. His defense improved, his handle, his downhill. Cam is a pro. Look at Max. Max is a pro. Cam has a higher ceiling, though, I think. Whew. A minute left in the ball game. I know people are upset, but we can be upset together. Daniel, what time we go until tonight?
9:30.
Just till 9:30? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys want to start calling in now, I can put out the phone number. You'll have to stay on hold for a good 20 minutes, but here's the phone number if you want to call it now. Look, Daniel West is here. He's in the chat. This ain't his first rodeo. Daniel's seen some things.
Yes.
Wait, I put out the wrong number. Yannick, big dunk. Yannick, Conan, Niederhauser. I call him Conan the Destroyer. That was the sequel. All right, guys, here we go.
Took care of the basketball somewhat today. Just 15 turnovers, but it led to 26 points for Phoenix, and that's where it hurts them. Bogdanovich to inbound. And that does it here at Mortgage Matchup Center. Phoenix takes down the Clippers 115-102. They come away with a victory behind 29 from Jalen Green in his Phoenix debut, 24 from Devin Booker. All 5 starters in double figures for Phoenix, and Ryan Dunn has 10 off the bench. The Clippers got good looks from Christie at the end of the game. 25 minutes for him. He was excellent, knocking down big shots. But the Clippers a little too late on the push. The 40-point third quarter for Phoenix does them in. Well, for our statistician, Michael Brenner, our engineer, Matt Turlip, and for Adam Oslin and Daniel West back to the studio. We're saying so long from Phoenix. We'll see you in a couple of minutes one more time. Final score, Suns win 115-102 over the Clippers on the Clippers Audio Network.
Well, the Phoenix Suns were hotter than a Gila monster sitting on a volcanic rock in Phoenix as they beat the Clippers 115 to 102 with 19 three-pointers and an avalanche of them coming in the third quarter and the second half. Welcome into your post-game show. I'm Adam Osland as the Clippers drop to 3-5 on this young season. Coming up, we'll get to your phone calls on Clippers Talk. If you want to get on early, 866-987-2570. And if I throw you on hold, well, just hold on. We got to get through this post-game locker room show first, and let's get back out to Carlo Jimenez in Phoenix. Carlo, not a lot of positives in this one. The Clippers had a 3-point lead at the half and then simply got ambushed in that third quarter.
Yeah, you knew it was going to be tough. No Kawhi Leonard, no James Harden for the Clippers in this one. They were 0-3 last year when that happened. But it proved impossible when Phoenix Adams started, I believe, 7 for 7 from
8 for 8, I
field.
think.
8 for 8. Even worse.
We don't want to short them.
Yeah, 8 for 8 to start the quarter. I mean, that was just unreal. And they hit shots, and the Clippers couldn't rotate defensively. They turned the ball over, and Phoenix burned them almost every single time. I mean, 26 points off 15 turnovers. I believe it was 26 off 13 turnovers till the very end there. So for the Clippers, I think you struggled to get back and struggled to find consistent offense. And the Phoenix Suns shot incredible. Jalen Green, what a debut in a Phoenix uniform, 29 points, 10 of 20 from the field. And then you look at the other side, the Clippers needed Bradley Beal to play well, and he shot 2 for 14, and it wasn't his night. And that just, I think, boils down to what happened today, Adam. The Clippers survived in the first half without Brad playing well. They needed him to play well in the second half, and it didn't come through, and nobody else could kind of carry the load.
Yeah, Visa Zubats ended up with 23 and 11 and had 16 of his 23 points in the first half. But early in the third quarter, it felt like the Clippers were trying to match them from three instead of continuing to feed Ivica Zubats, who had a distinct advantage. They got caught up in it maybe a little bit. And obviously the turnovers started to pile up as well, as they had 5 in the third quarter when they only had 5 in the first half. Meanwhile, it was the Phoenix Suns cutting down on them. But you pointed something out early on in the ball game. The Suns had 9 offensive rebounds in the first half. They finished with 15 of them. And towards the end of that third quarter, even when they started to miss, they kept getting extra possessions.
They got 17 second chance shots. And it's unbelievable in this game. They only hit 5 of them, and they still finished with 17 second chance points. So a lot of those, Adam, that'll tell you, were threes. Like Phoenix had a lot of threes on offensive rebounds and were able to kick and find shooters who hit big shots. For the Clippers in this one, I think there is the obviously you could lean back and say, well, we didn't have Kawhi and James, and Phoenix hit, 19 threes on almost 40% from the field. If you have James and Kawhi, it's probably hard to win this game with that shooting. But I think for this team, Adam, who's now fallen to 3-5, it's the urgency is now, right? Like the pressure is on. I know it's 8 games in, but this is 10% of the season, right? Like you got to start piling them up. You look at the schedule, it's not getting any easier for this Clipper team. I mean, they got Phoenix on Saturday, Adam, and then Denver is next week as part of that schedule. I think Atlanta's coming to town. It just won't be easy for this Clipper team, and you have to imagine there are going to be some shakeups, whether that's in the starting lineup, whether that's in the rotation. Ty Lue is somebody who's patient, but at this point in the season, I think you have to assess that whatever is going on now probably isn't working a ton. I think Cam Christie could be a huge benefit for this Clipper team. I thought he looked great against Phoenix's starters. I know it's not close game, late situation, but as somebody who could just get ahead of the defense, like how many times was he leaking ahead of the Phoenix defense? How many times was he battling for a rebound on the offensive glass? He was really, really impressive in this game. I also think, Adam, we might see a little more Yannick. Just because when Lopez is out there, it's hard to get a guy who's going to dive on the floor, who's going to get back defensively. Yannick speeds them up on the offensive end. I just think this team needs an injection of energy right now on both ends.
Yeah, some youthful exuberance and that energy, as you mentioned. Cam Christie with his young career high of 17 points. The game didn't look too big for him when he got first half minutes in a tight ball game. I thought he acquitted himself very well. And if CP3 and Bogey are going to continue to struggle offensively, maybe that's the answer. Maybe a lot of people thought, Cam Christie is still a year away. Well, He looked great in Summer League. He was much better defensively. He was much better with the ball in his hands, getting downhill. He showed some growth there. I don't hate the idea of finding a young guy that can soak up some minutes right now as the Clippers just look, well, we knew they were the oldest team in NBA history coming into this season. They've looked the part so far, unfortunately, and maybe it's getting their sea legs and processing out there just hasn't been what it's been in the past. But look, I still think a lot of these guys are going to end up contributing. But right now, you talked about it, the sense of urgency has to be there. And Coach Lou in that 10-game or 15-game sample, it may get cut down to an 8-game sample or a 9-game sample coming up, because that game against Phoenix and the rematch at Into a Dome on Saturday feels huge for this ball club.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to start 3-6. If there are a lot of people, I mean, myself included, Adam, I thought this team was going to start 8-2, 7-3
at worst.
Yeah. And so this is just something that is time to a little bit figure out. All right, what do the Clippers do here to try to get back on track? Now, the perfect answer is you get James Harden and Kawhi Leonard back. That will help you a lot. But nonetheless, just the process has to be better. And I think, not to get all Saban on you, but he always talked about the process, right? What habits are you building? And right now, Adam, you look at the Clippers, and defensively, there are moments where they're building good habits. Offensively, there are moments where they're building good habits, but consistency isn't there from this team on either end.
No, they can't play that way for 48 minutes when you see those flashes of what we saw last season, especially on the defensive end. Very discouraging to see them struggling that much on that end when they were a top 3 defense last season. The Phoenix Suns win this one, 115-102 in Phoenix over your LA Clippers, who dropped to 3-5. As we mentioned, next ball game against these Phoenix Suns, but back it Into a Dome Saturday night. Tip off at 7:30. Pregame show starting at 6:30. Carlo, great call. We'll see you back at the Dome on Saturday, my friend.
Adam, I get to see that beautiful face on Saturday. Let's go. Let's run it back.
Coming up next, we'll get your final box score. We'll take your phone calls, as I see people calling in tonight after the Clippers get blown out again in the second half. We're trailing by as many as 25, lose 115-102 to what was a 3-5 Phoenix Suns team. Now they're 4-5.
Wait, Adam.
The Clippers are 3-5. You're back in.
Can I
of course.
Okay, Russo just tweeted this. The last 5 seasons, the Clippers have started 4-4, 4-4, 3-5, 4-4, 3-5. So this might just be Clipper DNA at this point.
I've been saying since the 2021 season, they haven't gotten off to good starts. They've been able to rally and figure it out, but it still is a little bit alarming because Kawhi Leonard has been healthy and played 5 of these games so far.
That's a good point.
Didn't have him and James Harden, though, tonight, and this Clippers team has to be better. We expect that on Saturday. Carlo, we'll see you then. Take a quick timeout. Clippers lose in Phoenix. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers lose 115 to 102 in Phoenix, but honestly, it wasn't even that close. They were down by as many as 25. This game was over by the 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter when they were down by 22. It was 99 to 77. And I'll be honest with you, I fired up the YouTube Clippers talk. I was ready to go then. It looked like this team was ready to get out of there. And look, there's some built-in excuses with no Kawhi and no James Harden. And I don't fault the effort from a lot of these guys tonight. I don't think that was the issue. But they definitely ran out of talent and ran out of defense. And the Phoenix Suns went 19 of 49 from the outside and just hit the Clippers with a kill shot maybe early in that third quarter with 4 straight made three-pointers, and they started 8 of 8 from the field in the third. And what was a 3-point lead by the Clippers at the half, well, it turned into a double-digit deficit quickly. And this season feels like it's quickly getting away from the Clippers at 3-5. Now, they still have, what is it, like 74 games remaining. I don't want to panic too much, but I can see Clipper Nation is right now in the chat. And by those who have already called into Clipper stock, we'll get to you guys after the Clippers lose 115 to 102, shoot 44% from the field, 32% from three, to the Phoenix Suns, 45% from the floor, 39% from three on high volume, 19 of 49 from distance. The Clippers just got an avalanche of three-pointers put on their head in that third quarter and throughout the second half. And while Ivica Zubac led them with 23 and 11, and Cam Christie had his career high of 17 in 25 minutes, there aren't many other positives to find in this ball game. It is making it tough on me tonight to find those silver linings. After the Clippers dropped to 3-5, 8 games into the season, they're banged up. Bradley Beal went 2 of 14 and is still on a minutes restriction, and they don't have Kawhi and James Harden tonight, and we don't know their status for Saturday when they're taking on the Suns at Intuit Dome. Woo! A lot of moving parts to this unfortunate start to the 2025-2026 season. Hard to put a finger on just one thing. I know Clipper Nation, you might disagree with that. We'll get into it. I'm Adam Osland, and you are listening to your Clippers Postgame Locker Room Show on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. The Clippers start off the season 3-5 and felt like the Suns hit 3 of every 5 3-pointers they took in this ball game as they take down the Clippers in Phoenix 115-102. Welcome back into your post-game locker room show. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up on AM 570 LA Sports, we'll have Clippers talk, 866-987-2570. I will make sure to get to all your calls tonight. Don't worry about that, Clipper Nation. Might have to do some extended Clippers talk after this one because I can see Clipper Nation is distraught, dismayed, discouraged, defeated, feeling like this season is over. I don't think that's the case. They're only 8 games in. But this is a disastrous start considering the expectations coming in and how the schedule laid out within the first 10 games. Outside of Los Angeles, we are leaving you until the Clippers run it back against Phoenix at Intuit Dome on Saturday night. Tip off at 7:30, pregame at 6:30 in LA and on the chat on Clippers Talk on the YouTube side. Do not go anywhere. We got you coming up next. The Suns burn down the Nets against the Clippers in Phoenix and win 115-102, dropping your Los Angeles Clippers to 3-5 on this still young and early 2025-2026 NBA season. Welcome in. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Talk. We'll get to your phone calls, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570 if you'd like to get on. Got one spot open. This Clippers team is not meeting their expectations for a variety of reasons. Going into this ball game tonight, we knew James Harden was out for personal reasons, and Kawhi Leonard missed his second straight game after he turned the right ankle late against the Miami Heat on Monday. So you're missing your top 2 guys. A lot of people, if you told them that, would go, I could see how you'd lose to Phoenix 115-102. But when you actually dig into how this game went, the Clippers were right there. And by right there, I mean they had a lead at the half. That's what makes this so discouraging. They're up 51-48. They're doing the right things. They only had 5 turnovers in the first half. They were turning the Suns over in the second quarter. The Suns had 7 turnovers there. Zubac was punishing them with 16 points in the first half. The Clippers were playing with the right spirit. Even a young player in Cam Christie, I think he's just 20 years of age, or she's still 19, had a nice play in transition for a bucket, getting real minutes in a competitive ball game. You're thinking, they play like this, with this level of energy, they're going to be right there. Third quarter starts. Beal misses a 3. It was short to start. Many of his shots in this game were. Bradley Beal, not exactly a hero's welcome in Phoenix, a villain's. They were booing him all night. He shushed him at one point when he hit a 3-pointer, but that was the only 3 he would hit. And he went 2 of 14 from the floor. Not putting it all on him, but they obviously needed much more without James Harden and Kawhi Leonard tonight. The problem is after he missed that 3 to start the third quarter, Jalen Green hit one, and he had 16 points in the first half. It was his first game as a member of the Phoenix Suns. Of course, he comes back when the Clippers are playing them. He had 29 points in the ball game. Second best debut by his son, only behind Charles Barkley. Then Royce O'Neal hits a 3-pointer. Uh-oh. Clippers were up by 3. Well, now they're down. Booker hits a 3-pointer. What am I seeing here? A Beal turnover. Dives on the floor for a ball. Foul called on him. Going after it with Grayson Allen. Scrapping, but a turnover nonetheless and a foul. It's a 13-2 run by the Suns, who now lead by 6. The Clippers led by 3 at the half. Thought Beal was probably trying to do too much at times, but they also needed him to. And I hope he got the shooting funk or slump or whatever it's going on right now. And I know he's on minutes restriction, but he got all the shots he wanted. I hope he got it out of his system, this cold streak. I gotta think that's the case. The Suns had 16 points in the opening 3 minutes of the third quarter. They had 17 points total in the second. They started 4 of 4 from 3 after Devin Booker hit another one. Now they're up 10. Grayson Allen makes it 71-59. It's a 23-8 Suns run. After a Royce O'Neal 3, they're 8 of 8 from the field, and the Clippers are down 15. They start 8 of 8. The Clippers start 4 of 13 in the third quarter. Just insane. Royce O'Neal hits another 3. They're up by 20. The Clippers got away from feeding Ivica Zubac. They tried to answer with jump shots. You're not going to be able to match the Phoenix Suns and what they were doing with how hot they were. And guess what? When you're not making shots, it lets them get out and get into their offense quickly in transition. They only had 12 fast break points. Felt like more. But they were attacking quickly off of Clippers misses in that third quarter. Collins hit a 3-pointer to get it to 16. Also had a really bad turnover, a couple of them, losing it in the crowded paint. Kobe Brown made an appearance in the third quarter. Probably not the best sign. Coach Lou's looking for a spark. He's looking for anything. The Clippers had a bit of a run near the end of the third, an 8-0 run to get it to within 12. But then when the Suns even were missing three-pointers, they ended up 7 of 16 in the third total from three after hitting their first four. The Clippers can't get a rebound. The Suns had 15 offensive rebounds in the game. And Grayson Allen, appropriately so, hit a three-pointer to end the third, where it goes from an 11-point lead to a 14-point lead. Everything good that happened in the second quarter turned against the Clippers in the third. The Clippers took 13 free throws, I want to say, in the first half, hit 12 of them. And the Suns took, I want to say, 5. Well, then the Suns were getting to the charity stripe over and over again. The Clippers only had 5 turnovers in the first half. The Suns had 11. They only had 2 in the third quarter. But they did have 9 offensive rebounds in the first half, and that continued into the second half. And then when the shooting catches up and they stop turning the basketball over, well, that's how you get blown out. The Suns had 26 points in the first 6 minutes of the third. Clippers made a little bit of an effort late to get it to within 12, to within 11, but when you're down 22 with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter and the backups are out there, Yannick had a couple of nice plays and Cam Christie played great, you're not coming back from that. That may be insurmountable, down 22 with 9 minutes left in NBA history. Time and score. I remember the Lakers coming back on the Clippers. Was that last season, down 21? Okay, I don't want to think about that. Clippers had a late 13-1 run. Put some lipstick on the pig. That was a game where they were down by as many as 25 and lost 115-102 in Phoenix to the Suns. Granted, the caveat, the Clippers did not have Kawhi. They did not have James Harden. They missed their 2 best players. But when you're competitive and take the lead into the first half, you just expect a back and forth ball game, and not for things to escalate that quickly. They did. Some of it's hot shooting, some of it's bad defense. It's been bad defense so far this season. They're 26th defensively. I'm just wondering, because everybody who is asking for Coach Lue to be fired tonight and has been doing that for years, some of you, and gave Jeff Van Gundy all the credit when their defense played good last year. Does he get any blame now their defense is not playing good, or is all the blame just going to Coach Lue? I'm just wondering. Are we going to be fair? Or are we just going to try to blame Coach Lue for everything because John Collins didn't start again? Like that was going to be the answer tonight. I don't think it was. Does that mean I'm against the move? No. I said before the OKC game, it's time to have a sense of urgency. I was ready for it. I was ready for moves. 6 games in. Now we're 8 games in and they're 3-5. But Coach Lue is preaching patience and saying we haven't gotten to evaluate things the way we've wanted to because of injuries. And the problem is that gives you a built-in excuse to go further with lineups that may never work. They may. And he's already made it clear Bradley Beal is a starter for us. He's not coming off the bench. At least not at this point. So what? You got one starting spot up for grabs when this team is healthy, Derrick Jones Jr.'s, and he's played well so far this year. He's one of the guys, I'm not looking at him for this 3-5 start. But it's alarming. They also still have 74 games left. It's as alarming as it could get, though, for your first 8 games, given the expectations and the moves this Clippers team made that gave us a lot of hope. And I'm not giving up on these guys that they brought in off of a small sample size where the main guy, Bradley Beal, has been on minutes restriction. I'm just not. I've seen this so many times before. In fact, Justin Rousseau tweeted this out, and nobody's going to want to hear it right now, but the Clippers started last season 3-4. They trailed that next game by 25, or by 26, I should say. They won it against San Antonio. That was the first ever win at Intuit Dome to get themselves to 4-4. The year before that, they started 3-4. They trailed in the next game, Game 7, by 31. They would not come back in that game. They started 3-5. The point is, you can look at it one glass half full or half empty. Optimist, pessimist. How are you going to look at this? How are you going to see it? They have started slow consistently since the 2021 season, the 2020-2021 season that crosses over from 2020 into 2021. They have not gotten off to a good start since then. They have been starting 3-4 every year. This is another year of that where now they're 3-5. Well, last year they still won 50 games. They still were able to right the ship. Right now, everything's doom and gloom, and the doomers are out in droves. We'll take a quick time out before we get to your phone calls. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on AM 570 LA Sports. I'm just saying, they can pull out of this tailspin. I've seen it plenty of times before. Like, I don't know, the last 2 years when they started 3-4 and then had runs where they were 18-3 at the end of last season. The season before that, they had a 26-5 run over 31 games, the best regular season stretch in Clippers basketball history. I can't give up because there's evidence of this happening before and them turning it around. I'm sorry. There's a pattern here. I'm not giving up after 8 games. More Clippers talk next during AM 570 LA Sports. I'm not giving up yet. It's silly to give up with 74 games remaining. It's silly. You can do so. You want to jump off the cliff? Go for it. End of Last of the Mohicans. Do what you want. I'm not. I've watched a lot of basketball. I've seen a lot of slow starts, in particular from this team. Doesn't mean I'm okay with what's happening. I wanted them to start fast, of course. It's frustrating. I get all that. But this small sample size stuff usually never ends well for the people that overreact to it. It just doesn't. We have this body of work of Bradley Beal being a good player, Brooke Lopez, CP3. You can say they're older. All 3 of them had good seasons last year. Phoenix wants to blame Bradley Beal for all their problems. Like, come on. That wasn't the deal. I'm not giving up with this squad. Not 8 games in. I mean, I started the stream when they were down 22 with 9 minutes left. I know when the game's over, but this season ain't over, is the point.
Let's get back at it.
Tough night, Clipper Nation. Tough start to the year. The good news is there aren't 8 games left in the season. No, it's actually they've only played 8 games and there's 74 left. Seems like there's an opportunity for them to turn this around, as they have done like every year the past 4 or 5 seasons. So maybe the same thing could happen again. I don't know. I'm holding out for that. I'm holding on to that hope. I'm not giving up on this squad yet. But if people want to be angry, if people want to lash out, that's what Clippers Talk is for. Clipper Edward is calling in from Granada Hills. Clipper Edward, how you feeling tonight? Have you hit the panic button on this squad?
I have definitely hit the panic button. I do not know where the defensive discipline has gone. The chemistry has totally disappeared. John Collins has become an embarrassment, a laughing stock of the team. I can't believe what I am watching with this kid. Other than that, I have no other words.
Wait, why is John Collins becoming an embarrassment with this team?
Did you not see him play today?
So you're criticizing John Collins' play. No, I think he had some really bad turnovers and some really bad plays. The majority, though, of Clipper Nation is saying you have to start Collins. The reason we're losing is because Collins isn't starting. So I'm a little taken aback that you're not calling for Coach Lou's head for not starting John Collins.
Well, no, I definitely think Ty Lue needs to go because he's part of the problem. But tonight, John Collins was definitely showing why he's not what we thought he was. Honestly, I didn't know enough about the guy. I don't watch a lot of Hawks games, but from what I'm seeing now, it's just he's not what we needed. You know, now I'm really missing Norman Powell. Bradley Beal is he's another embarrassment. Like, where has this guy gone? I know he was cooked, but he can't even get us 10 points. Nick Batum, I love the guy, but I think it's time to retire tonight. You know, I wouldn't mind if I don't see him back on the floor again. And I love the guy. Thank you for everything you brought, but I think we have to make the smart decisions if we want to win games.
So, Clipper Edward, let me ask you this, and this goes for many people in the chat and other people calling in, I'm sure, are going to have similar thoughts and sentiments here, and this could be the overall sentiment from Clipper Nation at the moment. If Beal drops 20 easily on Saturday and they beat Phoenix, is everything fine now? Like, you're saying all these guys are permanently cooked and will never play well again, and it's over. That's what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying it's permanently cooked, but I'm just basing it on the last 5 games where they haven't showed us anything. Even tonight, Zubac, it looks like his confidence has gone.
I thought Zoo looked pretty good. He had 16 in the first half. He ended up with 23 and 11. I wish they went to him more in the third quarter instead of trying to match Phoenix with jump shots. I get what you're saying,
but a lot of those rebounds
change.
are coming off of his misses, though.
Let me see how many offensive rebounds he had in this ball game. He did have 5. That's fair.
He literally couldn't put the ball on the rim today. And then those turnovers, I was just like, that is not Zubac. He's so much smarter.
Well, he had 2 turnovers.
I think he's lost his confidence because of how bad the team is playing.
All right. I appreciate the phone call. I hope you call in when I believe they turn this around. And
tonight was the first game I actually got to watch on TV. So anytime I get to watch it on TV, you'll expect my call.
All right. Clipper Edward, we'll be looking for you. Chris in LA. Chris, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Moslin. What's up, Chris?
All right. Hey, Adam, how are you? Let's talk intelligent basketball now, please, like we always do, like we did the last game after the OKC game. If you recall, I sit 3 rows behind the visitor bench at every Clipper home game and have for many years. That last caller, we can't have callers like that. John Collins is 30 for 54 on the season. He's shooting 55% from the floor. I don't know what that guy's watching or hearing, and John Collins is.
Well, to be fair, Chris, he did admit this was the only game he's seen so far.
Well, you don't have to watch it to look at the stats and listen to the game. The litmus test is John Collins is not the problem. Here's the problem, and we talked about it the other night. You kind of poo-pooed me a little bit, and I love you, Adam. Chris Paul is one of the major problems. Chris Paul's 6 for 25 on the season. He's shooting 24%. He's made 1, I think, maybe 2 two-pointers. He's completely a non-factor. He can't guard anyone. And finally, they said, we're not going to play anymore. We're going to play Cam Christie. Here's the bright spot. Again, Zubac is 48 for 82 on the year. He's got a little bit of a slow start, but Zubac was back tonight. We go as Zubac goes. When Zubac gets 15 to 17 touches a game, we typically win. He's got to touch the basketball. Coming into this game, he hadn't shot 82 shots so far. I think he had 68 shots coming into the game, where Harden and Leonard had 103 and 102.
Yeah,
I'm
Zubats
saying all
was in
these numbers 'cause it
single-digit
makes
shot
sense.
attempts his last 3 games, so it was
You
nice to
can't
see
do
him
that.
be
It's-
featured more.
Thank
Hey,
Thank
Chris, nobody has been talking about Zoo getting the ball more. I can pull up tweets from 2021. This has been my campaign. I've been crying about this forever.
Me too. Me too. When he touches it, go look at the stats, and I challenge your stat guru team over there at the radio station. The games that Zubac touches it 13 times or more, we win 75+% of the time or more.
I don't
Here's
doubt
the
there's
go
something in
ahead.
that range with him. There's a direct correlation. Ivica Zubats punishes
Absolutely.
teams.
Here's the challenge of why I'm concerned. We keep talking, and I'm not panic button or any of that, but this is why I'm concerned. Okay. Forget about the last 3 or 4 years. Those last 3 or 4 years, sure, we had the same starting record as we do now, or very similar, 4-4, 3-5, whatever the case may be. However, our 4 losses this year, 4 of our 5 losses were blowouts, not even competitive. 3 of those losses were blowouts on the road. Every road game we played this year, we've gotten smoked. And we were close in the first half, but everybody knows in the NBA, it's the second half adjustments and second half game. It's not, and so what concerns me is
They made the wrong adjustment. The Phoenix Suns hit every 3-pointer. It was the wrong adjustment.
No, well, listen, it's not about the adjustment. The guys are going to make shots and miss shots, but at the end of the day, you got to run them off the line. But it's not about one game. It's in totality. Again, we talked about it the other night. 4 of the 5 losses were blowouts. That's not Clipper basketball. That's not what we saw out of the 3 out of the 4 of the 5 last years. Because I just looked at it. We didn't get blown out.
Well,
that's a problem.
In Game 7 last year, they were getting blown out and came back and won against San Antonio. In Game 7, in Game 8. So we're comparing Game 8s of the last 2 years.
But we didn't.
Game 8 last season, they came back and won.
I get it, but we lost 4 of our 5 games this year were blowouts, and all 3 on the road were blowouts. That is a concern to me. And what I mean by that is, let's get some infusion of the young players. Christie played great tonight. Let's get him. I know Jordan Miller's on with the hamstring, but really it's because he can only play certain leagues because he's on that 2-way contract.
Chris, if you're looking for young guys to keep you from getting blown out, I would point to a lot of young teams that get blown out all the time. You could supplement with some young guys. If you want Cam Christie to play more, I'm interested in that. But you can't just have of a sudden this young roster turnover with all these young guys playing. You're not going to win games.
That's not what No, I agree, but that's not what I'm saying. It's a mix of both. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a mix of both young and old. But
well, you said Cam and Jordan, and I'm like, are we playing all the young guys all of a sudden?
No, but we've got to play some because we don't play them enough, and the other teams are playing younger players. Look around us. And number 2, on top of all this, if you'd allow me to just finish real quick, and I'm sorry to dominate all the time.
No, you are.
The puck is out on us. They're going to pick us up 94 feet the whole time and get up in us defensively, and they're going to push the ball in transition.
They did the same thing last year, and the Clippers still won 50 games when it comes to that style of play and what their weakness is.
We did not lose 4 games this way in blowout fashion, Adam. And by the way, we talked about it the other time.
I make a point that teams knew last season to do what they're doing against the Clippers this season, and they still won 50 games. And then you just go back to they have not been blown out this many times, and this. I get it.
Adam,
I think that is
concerning. The roster at the beginning of our season, the roster at the beginning of the season last year had young players. Kevin Porter Jr. was playing immense amount of minutes.
No. I'm saying later in the season when they got older, when Kawhi came back, they turned the ball over way less. The correct analysis is they shouldn't be turning the ball over as much because they didn't at the end of last season when they had Kawhi back. So there's less of an excuse now with a healthy Kawhi for them to be turning the ball over as much as they are. I appreciate the phone call. Chris, you talk a lot. I got to get some more people. Eli and Whittier. Eli. What's up, Eli? You're on Clippers Talk. I got you.
Hello, can you hear me? Oh, okay, nice. Well, kind of what I was going to say, kind of the guys talking a bit about it. But just really quick, I'm not too nervous yet because I think you need maybe a 15 to 20 game sample size, then you can hit panic button. But first of all, I do want to say the disappointment for me comes in comparison to last season with the level of competition and personnel. I understand that we do have some injuries with Beal and I forgot who else, but I think the main point is that looking at last season and the way the team started and had more closer games compared to now, where you have Brook Lopez instead of Mo Bamba, you have Bogdanovich, you don't have Kevin Porter Jr., just seeing that lack of discipline. And like you said, turning the ball over and making these big mistakes for a veteran team, I think is honestly the biggest disappointment.
I would say this. When you talk about the turnovers and everybody wants to go after the coaching staff, I would point you to Tomer Azarli's Twitter, who coming into this game yesterday, he posted every single turnover so far this season by the Clippers. And there is a real hard argument to make that it's on the coaching staff and not lackadaisical players making miserable passes out there. Like, the players have to be better.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They have to be much better.
No, for sure.
I know that wasn't exactly your
here.
point. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there, Eli. But anything else?
Yeah, no, for sure. And thanks for clarifying. But yeah, no, it's mainly that. I think one hope I do have, and this is kind of a weird parallel, I would say do play Cam more, especially if Bogdanovich is doing pretty terrible, because he is a young player, obviously, who shows the grit. But this is going to sound weird, but if you look at the Phoenix Suns last year, when they were winning games, they actually were playing their two rookies, Ryan Dunn and Iguodala, and they actually had some energy. Not saying they're like the tipping point of games, but on the defensive end and just the energy standpoint, they gave that team, which did have a lot of veterans and had a decent start, kind of, a bit more of that energy. So
they also didn't make the play-in. So
that's way later. And if you do look at the stats, they did play the rookies a lot less. And that was a big criticism of Budenholzer or Bud.
All right. I got you, Eli. I appreciate the phone call, okay? Become a regular here.
No problem. Thank you.
Quick timeout, as we do have to take breaks here. Clippers fall to 3-5. They lose 115-102 to the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to Clipper Stock here on AM 570 LA Sports. Clippers lose again to the Phoenix Suns, who they had beaten for their first victory at Intuit Dome to start off this season. Now they lose in Phoenix tonight. We're getting blown out in the second half after leading by 3 in the first half. Final score, Suns 115, Clippers 102. Ryan in Burbank. Ryan, you're on Clipper Stock with Adam Osland. What's up?
Hey, Adam, how are you? That was a fun game, wasn't it? Did you have fun? Are we not entertained?
I mean,
I'm being sarcastic.
I couldn't tell.
I know. I think a couple callers have hinted at this, and I think we're seeing it with our own eyes to a certain extent, right? We went into this season as Clipper fans feeling like we addressed a lot of the shortcomings that were last season, beginning of last season.
Correct.
There was no ball handler for James in the backup unit, right? We thought, hey, CP3, give us 13 to 15 solid minutes a game to spell James Harden. We'll take that. Brook Lopez, give us 13 to 16 minutes a game to spell Zubac. We'll take that. Again, John Collins, I think, has been the bright spot, right? I think for many Clipper fans, I could speak for myself when I say John Collins isn't the problem here. The problem that I think that we're finding is,
I heard this already once tonight. He's not the problem. I agree with that. My question is he the solution? Is he the cure-all? And I don't think that is the case either. I do think he can help, though.
I tend to agree with you, Adam. I don't think he's the cure-all. He probably needs to play more than 25 minutes a game, but I'm not sure playing him 30 plus is going to just cure all the Clippers' ills for this season. At the same time, though, I think the real question becomes: is Brook Lopez and or CP3, are they done? Are they not going to be the solution? Because that's the biggest issues I see right now. Again, the game against Miami Heat, James Harden plays nearly 40 minutes in that game. Yeah. We're 5 games into the season, 6 games into the season, Adam. He's playing 40 minutes. I mean, like that's the concerning thing to me. When I look at this team, I go, the guys we thought were going to be helping the bench unit, I'm not entirely sure they are. And that's the issues that I have with this squad right now. And again, like you said earlier, Kawhi Leonard's been healthy for the most part, and he's played great. Yet the Clippers are 3-5. James Harden has been healthy, and he's played, by all accounts, very good basketball. They're 3-5. Zubac has, again, you up and down on Zubac a little bit. I'm going to concede that one. He hasn't played, I think, to the fullest potential we saw him of last year, but yet they're 3-5. And again, I understand Bradley Beal's on a minutes restriction. He's not where he needs to be at. Okay. But the other pieces of this team, to me at least, when I'm watching the eye test, I'm not convinced that they're helping us. And again, Adam,
no one is arguing that CP3 and Brook Lopez are helping them right now or doing what we thought they would be doing. The argument is, does this mean they're done, or do you need to give them more time because it's only 8 games? And to me, it would be crazy to give up on guys with this body of work this soon. That's what I'm saying.
And Adam, I don't necessarily disagree with you with that. I just think the question is, when can we as fans hit the panic button? Because the 40-20 rule still applies, right? We're still talking about the 40-20 rule. The 40 wins before 20 losses. The Clippers have 5 now. Yeah. And you've pointed this out too, Adam, and I think a lot of Clipper fans have too. When I looked at this first 10 games, I said this Clipper team should go 7-3. Yeah. They should go 7-3.
At worst,
we penciled in a couple losses. We said, they'll probably lose to OKC on a back-to-back. They'll probably lose, again, I even said they'll probably lose one of the Sun games. Maybe they'll lose the Warriors game. I can accept that as a Clipper fan. I don't expect them to be perfect.
Ryan.
But now they're 3-5, and 4 of the losses, Adam, have been blowouts.
I'm with you.
4 of the losses have been blowouts. That's the hard part. That's the hard part.
I did a whole show on Clippers Talk after the loss to Miami saying there needs to be a sense of urgency. Now we're 2 games further in with 2 more losses. I'm with you, Ryan. I appreciate the phone call. Quick timeout. Clippers lose in Phoenix 115-102. The difference is, and the callers have been pretty good about this, the chat is the chat, and it's like every chat that's ever been to some degree on the internet where it's going to be doom and gloom and the sky is falling completely and the season is over. I'm not there after 8 games. That's where we may differ. More Clippers talk next, starting at 570 LA Sports. Clipper Nation, I'll stay on a little bit longer tonight because you guys keep calling in. Clipper Stock, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hold on, Jose. Mike, hold on. Harold, hold on. Matt, hold on. Clipper Stock, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Clipper Stock, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Clipper Stock. Faintly. Can you? Is it on speakerphone or Bluetooth or something? So it's all right. Yeah. What was your name? RE from LA. Hold on. Clipper Stock. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What is it? All right, hold on. F out of here with this. You're not there because you got a check in the mail. I care deeply about this team. I did 213 straight shows last season. I am invested fully. You have no idea how frustrated I get sometimes. Maybe I should live stream me during games. Because I'm not giving up after 8 games doesn't mean I don't care.
He cares
Deeply about this team.
He cares.
Thank you.
He cares.
Daniel, producer Daniel will attest
Yes.
to me caring.
Yes.
Do I care?
Yes, he does.
Do I swear?
Yes.
F out of here with that. Just because I don't give up after 8 games doesn't mean I don't care.
How dare you be reasonable?
Clippers lose to the Suns. We'll do Clippers talk after dark. I'll keep going with you guys off air, which means you can say whatever you want. Oh, God. Joe in LA. You're on Clippers talk with Adam Moslem. Quickly here, Joe.
Hey, Adam. All right. So I just want to do some objective analysis here. What, in your opinion, with no caveats, are Ty Lue's top 3 greatest flaws as a coach?
Top 3. I don't know if I want to go top 3, but I will say there are times, and I can't know this for certain because as much as he can seem calm and cool after losses sometimes, and he doesn't have the fire and brimstone that everybody wants, I can tell you that behind the scenes, for certain, Coach Lue is not always like that. But sometimes it can come across as Coach Lue is too cool for school or whatever, or doesn't have that sense of urgency that you're looking for. That's the one thing that I would say I can understand people feeling when it comes to Coach Lue. Anything else, Joe? Because I gotta get out.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Joe. I'll put
Thank
you on
for sharing
hold.
that.
We'll get you on Clippers Talk after dark on the YouTube side. On Clippers Talk, is everybody's calling in and freaking out tonight. What happened? Oh, the Clippers are 3-5. Next game coming up against Phoenix at Intuit Dome. Saturday night. Tip off at 7:30. Pregame show at 6:30. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call, Big Brother Jake Warner, see you on Saturday. Daniel West back in the bank. Joey Kimball, love you all. Clipper Nation, love you too. We'll do some Clippers talk after dark, off air on the YouTube side. Some exclusive Clipper talk next. I'm still here. But no, I don't feel it when this team loses. I take a check and I don't care. I'm going to get to these phone calls. I'll be with you for another maybe 20 minutes here. How about that? I actually want to see if we have any Coach Lue postgame sound. I don't know if that's out yet. Lon Murray quotes from Coach Lue. I don't see anything. I know he was boots on the ground. I know another flaw with Coach Lue. Oh, people are dropping off the phone lines. Well, if you guys are going to leave, then I ain't going to keep going. Are we are we good?
Yeah, just one sec. I think we're into something real quick.
If you guys want to call in, I'll keep going. I'll keep going.
Clippers lose.
I know. Everybody's a broken record saying Coach Lou should be fired tonight. I see it in here. Oh, you guys are calling back in now. All right. I see you. Hold on. I threw you on hold, and then some of you hang up. I'm going to get to you. I got you. Daniel, you let me know when I'm good.
All right.
I don't want to screw up your shit.
Like another 2 minutes to finish this.
Just give me a second, guys. I'm
Hey.
putting you on hold. We got some extended Clippers talk after dark.
Tranquilo.
What's that?
I said tranquilo. Calm down, people. Chill. Patience.
Clippers talk. Hold for me. Stay on hold. I'll get to you. Clippers talk. Stay on hold. I'll get to you. They hung up. Why would they hang up? I just said stay on hold. We're going to keep it going.
All right.
Hold on.
You should be good here.
Thank you, Daniel.
All right, you're very welcome, man.
Producer Daniel West.
Hi.
Get out of here, man. Oh, could you put me in program 1?
Oh, yeah. Which one? Oh, 2? Sorry, which one?
Or no, I mean, yeah, my mic back up and
Oh, yeah.
but also the this and
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
thanks, man.
Get on the hall for a hot second before I see you.
All right. Clipper Nation, can you hear me? We still got the phone lines up. We're still taking your phone calls. Somebody's calling from Law, Canada. Who is this? Somebody a caller from
right here.
a caller from LA. I'm sorry, what was your name? Jay?
Yeah. Joe.
Joe. I was close. Joe, we talked on air. Now we're just on the Clippers talk side. And you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, the other issue I would take with Coach Lou is now there's two sides to this, but sometimes he sticks with something too long that most people feel like is not going to work. Like Marcus Morris in the 22-23 season. I thought Coach Lou had a bad year. I legitimately said that. I said he had a bad year, and the Marcus Morris stuff went on for way too long. I think Reggie Jackson went on for too long. They also saved them the year before with those two guys, and they are tough decisions to be made. But I can get it if that's a critique you have of Coach Lou. What say you, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit. I mean, that's actually a really big part of it too. I think he's a little bit overrated. He won a championship with prime LeBron and prime Kyrie.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Who wins the championship in 2021 if Kawhi doesn't tear his ACL? Uh-oh. Come on. At worst, the Clippers are losing in a game 6 or 7 in the finals, and you know it's true. There's no way Phoenix beats them if Kawhi doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, prime Kawhi and prime Paul George.
They're probably beating and favored against Milwaukee because of what Kawhi did against him in 2019 at Giannis. You know it's true.
No.
You know it's true. So all this, fire Lawrence Frank, Coach Lou, he's still just living off of the Cleveland run. It's like, no. Like, you got to factor that in.
Okay. Well, here's my present day argument. I think his offense has become way too predictable, and teams have figured him out. I'm sick of watching his offense. A lot of guys just like standing around. There's not enough movement, and it just leads to more predictability. Everyone has our tape. Off the turnovers, I think part of it goes to him as well. It's not just the players' lackadaisical play, because it's not like players want to turn it over. It's not like they don't care about turning it over.
we're just too predictable. And I think we need some sort of change. I'm just tired of this. I don't know why. And also like the John Collins thing, it's like, dude, just try starting him once. It's like we go for 2 years trying to get a power forward. We finally get one, and we're like, let's bring him off the bench, even though this guy's in his prime on a contract year. If I'm John Collins, I'm pissed.
I'll just tell you what Law Murray told me, that he's not up to speed where the coaches would like him to be, and I have seen it out there on the court where he's made some mistakes. Now, I would say that his good outweighs his bad, and he's still a net positive. But Coach Lou pregame actually spoke about how his spacing needs to be better, when to roll towards the basket, when to get out of the three-point line, to not clog up the paint. And he's new to this team and working with the Ivica Zubats. I would play him. I would play him. I would start him, I should say. I would.
I absolutely agree. Okay, and I totally see your point. Yeah, I mean, there are times out there where I'm like, John looks almost a little raw.
He had 5 turnovers last game against OKC that were terrible. And he had a couple tonight that were just like, oh my goodness. Like he's not fully in tune. But I look for the net positive, and I still think he's a net positive, and I would start him. But I'm not saying, I would say it's not, I don't think it's completely crazy that Coach Lou hasn't at this point, given some of those mistakes. I don't think it's completely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're just losing games, right? And you got to do something different. And also get John a chance to get up to speed with the starters if that's eventually where you want to see him go. I mean,
so you're taking out DJ. You're taking out DJ, who has played really well to start off this season, honestly.
I get that. I agree.
So
right?
Who's your point of attack defender?
Also,
who's your point of attack defender in the starting unit? Beal? Because it ain't going to be Kawhi.
You just have to try it out. I mean, the thing is, basketball.
I'm just saying this could cause it. Like there are real reasons, real legitimate reasons to not want to do it. Also, I'm just presenting the other side. I would still try it.
No, yeah,
but there are legit reasons.
Right. And I've heard them all, and I've agree with them. But then now, just seeing what's on the floor, DJJ is too small. I mean, that first game against Utah, when you're putting Markkanen and Kawhi together, Markkanen's got the easiest layups I've ever seen in my life. When Kawhi looks like a midget next to him.
Honestly, right? that Kawhi effort was bad though. Markkanen's on record of saying, "I hate going up against Kawhi," and Kawhi just he did not play well. He was not engaged, or his defensive activity was so bad to start that game. Everybody was bad, including Kawhi. He didn't take up the challenge. I don't even think that's not just a mismatch size thing, because Kawhi has got him plenty of times. Kawhi wasn't engaged. The team didn't show up. And I will say, if you want to get on Coach Lou for something, like they have had a consistent issue with starting games slowly. They were better last year. They were much better, but it has been a through line throughout the 2-1-3 era into the Kawhi James Harden era. You can say that.
Yes, I totally agree. And yeah, culture is set also by the coach. And you know what? And I'm not going to say what the Lakers are doing are all because of Austin Reeves and Luka. Yeah, they've been playing great, but you got to give credit to JJ Redick. You got to give credit to a coach setting the culture, being disciplined. I mean, he's just done a masterful work. And you look at other teams too, where they had coaching changes, a fresh start, things change. You take out Mike Malone, who's an excellent coach, and look what happens to Denver. I'm just saying, Ty Lue, I think that his time is run. His course is run. We've given him enough chances, enough excuses, and I think it's time to move on. I mean, even with Brian Shaw, I don't think he's next up in line. I don't know if it's JVG. I don't know if it's someone else. But even Brian Shaw, when he coached those 3 games, I was like, this guy just plays logical, fundamental, obvious basketball. And Ty Lue never does the obvious. That's my biggest problem with him. He always tries to be too clever and just ends up crapping in his own pants. I'm not going to even go over the Aaron Gordon dunk when we had freaking Bogey out there. I can see Aaron Gordon licking his chops. Imagine you're Aaron Gordon and you're out there.
I get it, Joe. I get it.
Imagine though, how much he was drooling. He was like, "Oh my goodness, it's Harden, Norm, and Bogey."
I did not do Clipper Stock After Dark to imagine how much Aaron Gordon was drooling on that play. That's
I think I saw his face covered in drool, and then he's like, "I'm gonna fly in here, grab this rebound, and just dunk it over these little midgets." And that's what happened. And Ty Lue's explanation after, I was like, "Are you an NBA coach? Like, what do you mean you had Ben Simmons, Batum, and DJJ for this last second defensive play?" Anyway, I think I love Ty Lue, but I think his time is over.
All right, Joe. Joe, you have been heard.
Start.
You have been heard.
Thank you for all your work, Adam. You're the best.
All right, Joe, be good. Mike in LA, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Osland. Mike, what's up?
Adam, I want to talk some more about Aaron Gordon's rules. I'm kidding.
Come on. I know he's got that dog in him, but I don't need to think like he's a basset hound. It's not Beethoven's fifth or whatever with his drool. It's not like that.
I'm kidding.
I get the metaphor though, or whatever. He was licking his chops.
I think, I think they really do need to try to find a way to work Cam Christie into the rotation in some way. Just somebody who's younger.
Did you just say Cam Frisky? Did you just say that?
Freudian slip, Cam Christie. I did not say that, but Freudian slip, Cam Christie. They just need somebody who's younger. I mean, he was great tonight. He just, he looked great. He, played great. It's frustrating when you have this group of, veterans who have, played at a high level. They know they need to come out. It's not like these are, guys who have never done it before. They've these are guys who have, accomplished careers in the NBA. And they just come out so flat in some of these games. It's just, come on, guys.
Mike, I agree. I'm sick of that part of it. That part of it where they start slow. The game against Miami, where they get down 12-2, and the same group of guys, after a timeout, have a 16-3 run. Why weren't you capable of that to start the game? Why did it take you getting punched in the mouth to taste your own blood to respond? That stuff has got me pulling my hair out.
Do something different during warm-ups. Maybe they need to do something different during warm-ups, or it's just like and that is, as you said with the last caller, a place where you can put some of it on the coaching, on the coaching staff. I mean, this has just always happened. This, has happened routinely.
I think the reason I did a podcast or show on the YouTube side on Tuesday before the Thunder game was because one of my critiques has been a lack of sense of urgency with this team. I don't know if it's because of the coaching staff. I don't know if it's because of the makeup of players and so many veterans and Kawhi not being a vocal leader, but it has consistently been a problem during the entire last 6 years, since the summer of 2019, here and there. There have been plenty of points of urgency, but there have also been too many lulls, especially to start seasons, where the Clippers just are not ready to play, and that is bothersome to me.
I completely agree. They could go on, a run. They could, go on a run starting next game. I mean, they could certainly, Kawhi comes back, you get, James Harden, back, hopefully whatever, personal thing he's dealing with is okay. Not too bad. They absolutely could go on a run. But you just gotta get a kick in the pants and not get a kick in the ass.
Well, this is why I keep going back to the Mike Tyson. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth or punched in the face. It's like the Clippers' plan actually is to get punched in the face just so they can wake up and get into the fight. That's what it seems like. And I don't like that plan. Matt in Seattle. Matt, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Osland. What's up, Matt?
What's up, Adam?
What do you want to say?
This criticism of Ty Lue is just like hilarious, man. Just seeing people say that he has like no offensive philosophy is just like, do you really think he has no offensive philosophy? He doesn't have the personnel right now to really like do much. And I would love to start JC, but like you said, like who would be our POA, point of attack defender? It can't be. You would have to replace Beal with Dunn. I would like to do that if JC figures out this offense.
But Beal's not going to be replaced because Coach Lou made it clear that he's a starter for us. And I do want to say the idea of this team reaching its highest ceiling does involve Bradley Beal starting, I think, and being a big part of it. I do not think they can reach their highest ceiling if Bradley Beal isn't the guy he has been the last 2 years. And I know some people are going to scoff at that and say, well, what has he done the last 2 years? Phoenix had all type of problems, and he was still shooting 50% from the field, 40% plus from three, and giving you 18 points per game. Like that's what they need. They need that. They need that as the norm replacement.
Yeah. I'm still not worried about Beal at all. I think he still needs the reps, still needs to get off that restriction. It looked bad on the stat sheet today, but I'm still not worried. Just let him ramp up. I'll be worried in like mid-December if he's still playing like this. But yeah, we're not playing in June anyways if he's not starting and giving us production that Norm almost gave us last year. But I mean, I'm not.
People are saying if Beal is not healthy, why play him? Like, I don't think this is necessarily him being unhealthy or moving poorly out there. He's rusty. So you actually do have to play guys who are rusty to get out of it.
Yeah. And he's coming off 0 training camp burn too, right?
He only played the last preseason game. And yes, he was held out of a lot of stuff in training camp.
Yeah. See, I'm not worried at all. I saw Ty Lue's post game too, talking about Beal, following a question that Law asked. He didn't look worried at all. And like, I mean, the last game we played when we were fully healthy was against Miami, which we were completely dominant when we didn't turn the ball over. Like we lost that game. Miami didn't win that game. And then Thunder, you knew that was going to be a loss coming off the back-to-back with no Claw, no Beal. Today I was kind of hopeful, but I mean, you're not gonna. It's hard to win 2 halves with your 2 best players out. Like I'm not worried right now, man. I'm really not.
All right, Matt. I appreciate the phone call. We got somebody, Jonathan in San Diego. Jonathan's a regular. Jonathan, what's up? Give us some
hey Adam,
enlighten Clipper Nation, enlighten the chat.
I'm on my phone, so I'm like I was watching the YouTube on my phone too, so I'm like I'm off of it. So I have no idea what has been said in the last like 20 minutes or so. But yeah, one thing I've noticed, and I didn't get a chance to watch the third quarter. I came back and
you're lucky.
And by the time I tuned back in the fourth quarter, we were already down by 20. I was like, what the heck? But something that
they started 8 for 8, Jonathan. Like the game where they went 15 of 15 to start that third quarter last year at Intuit Dome. This time they started 8 for 8.
Okay. Yeah, I got to rewatch that third quarter. But in that first half, and it's something that Dime has been talking about on Locked On. Chris Paul is like one thing that I was heightened on was Chris Paul in the second quarter. I think when he was playing was basically getting into our offensive sets. Like he was so slow coming across the backcourt. I was worried about him getting a couple 8-second violations because like ball pressure is being applied 94 feet. And I think after it was like a few possessions, like then Cam Christie started bringing the ball up and we're getting into our sets much quicker. So one thing of concern is Chris Paul isn't able to get by anyone anymore, even with the help of a screen. And we're not gaining any advantages. And I think that's partially why the second unit is just looks discombobulated because we're not getting the defense in the rotations.
Look, Jonathan, it may be true. Yeah. It may be true that he can't do it anymore. I have to still see more to prove it because he's coming off an 82-game season where he was very productive with San Antonio. Maybe it all went maybe it all went this summer. I saw him in the preseason. He was moving really well. My hope is he is over processing because of the speed of the regular season right now. And for a guy that old, that is slower, it's going to take even more of an adjustment. Maybe that's my hope.
Right. But also too, right. It's worrying that like
of course, it's all worrying.
Ball pressure. I mean, I mean, and that's John Collins too. Like, I think part of the reason why with the turnovers, right, he's having to do a lot more on-ball creation because we're not generating advantages in pick and roll. Like, our ball hand, like Chris Paul hasn't been able to get by anyone to generate those advantages. And like Chris Paul, I think Bogey were playing together a good chunk because they out of necessity. And the like Chris Paul is a cone on defense right now. He's getting blown by, and that's part of the problem when the point of attack gets beat even on our second unit. Like, it causes our defense to scramble into rotation. And I think by the time I tuned in the fourth quarter, like, we started playing more zone, and we were leaving. Who's the guy on Phoenix? I forgot that was
Royce O'Neal.
Oh, it was Royce O'Neal. Yeah, we were leaving him like wide open. I'm like, come on, guys. So, but yeah, so it was just concerning. And then like Cam Christie played well when like from the first half when I was able to see, like, he was playing well within himself and within the system. And my concern is, like, yeah, I would like to see Cam play more too. I'm wondering, and if hopefully Ty gives him more minutes and some consistency, like maybe like 10 to 15 minutes a game down the road. But I'm hoping he won't hit the same wall that Jordan Miller hit last year when he was playing really well. And then once the scouting report came out on Jordan,
he definitely has less flaws. Jordan Miller did one thing or a few things really well, maybe better than anything that Cam Christie does well. But Cam Christie is more well-rounded with his handle, the ability to go right and left.
Yeah.
And his jumper is pure. There's no hitch in it. There's no, he needs to change anything. He came into college with that. Like, there's no issue there. It's just reps, I think.
Yeah. So that's always in the back of my mind for any young player. Like, when you hit adversity and the scouting report's out on you, like, what are you going to do to counter and to counter the scouting report? So I think sucks that Jordan's hurt right now, and like I hope Cam can get in, because there were a lot of encouraging things from him tonight. And and also too, like, I saw people who were like complaining about Brook Lopez. I'm like, when the defense is getting broken down in the second unit because the point of attack defense is non-existent, like Brook Lopez can only do so much.
I know.
He's less mobile, so like you can't blame Brook Lopez for like the defensive shortcomings of the second unit. So that's kind of the thing. And then my last point is on Ty. Like, I think I think Ty's a good coach, but I think with the crop of coaches that have popped up in the last few years, I think I think Ty's still a top 5 coach, but he's probably closer to 5 than the top. And I think some of these other coaches are coming in who have more of like probably more modern thinking philosophy of the game. I don't know how to like conceptualize it or like just be able to say it, but I think some of the newer coaches bring in a fresh perspective, and like seeing some of the other teams like around the league just play. I think I don't know, Ty is kind of bogged down by James Harden being the engine of the team. So like he's limited by the personnel on the team. So there is to that. And people who are complaining about why don't we have more off-ball movement? I'm like, James Harden is the system. Like, when you have James Harden on the team, you run a James Harden oriented offense. So there's some of that too. But then in terms of just like rotations and I don't know, maybe some philosophies and stuff, like there's fresh perspectives around the league with the newer crop of coaches. And that's just my 2 cents. Like,
all right,
he's a good coach. I don't know if he's a great coach, but to me, Spoelstra is still the best coach in the league, and he's the best coach in the league for a reason. So, because I think of he's adaptable, and like he does stuff
So are you surprised every year when the GM poll comes out and they say Coach Lou is the best in-game adjuster every year? Like should we all be like, hey, I guess we know more than the GMs? Then
I mean, I think the more I think about it, the more that time has passed, I'm a little more surprised because I think and I don't know how frequently the other GMs are able to adequately watch every team like with the fine tooth comb that we do.
They're pretty good at that. I would be pretty shocked if they didn't watch more games than us.
Right. And I mean,
they are scouting.
I mean, I think Ty makes good adjustments, but then like you were saying before, and like I've mentioned before, like Ty sometimes takes too long with adjustments because he likes the sample size that he wants. Like for the whole Beal thing, like with how Marcus Morris was, like he wants to give people an opportunity to sink or swim and to show them, hey, we have this sample size of data on you. You're helping, you're hurting the team. And if you're hurting the team, we need to go a different direction or adjustment just so that guys are managed and their egos aren't like, yeah, the guys' egos are going to be hurt, but at least it comes with evidence as to why a change needs to be made. And I think,
all right, Jonathan,
it's good, but yeah.
No, I got you. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. So
I appreciate you.
Yep. Thanks, Adam. Be good.
All right, you too. Barry in Ohio. Quickly, Barry, you're on Clippers Talk.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Oh, you've heard.
These early games, I don't want to say I'm not too worried about it because, later in the season, the West going to be pretty tight. So these games do matter. My biggest concern is just, I feel like there might be a little bit of politics going on in the locker room because I don't know. Last year, roles were kind of defined. Guys are getting their playing time. I don't know what's going on with Collins. I thought Collins would be starting. So, and I feel like Beal is just a different version of Westbrook, or maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. I don't know. Hello?
Say that last part one more time for me, Barry.
I think Beal is like a different version of Westbrook.
I've heard the parallels.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Where getting him, you think Beal would be okay with coming off the bench? Because I feel like there might be some conflict that later on in the season we got to make some type of changes, like to the starting lineup.
I doubt it because last season he wasn't okay coming off the bench, and he probably was given a starting job in their pitch to him if you come to the Clippers. Barry, I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Join the show right now on a big night like this where the Clippers dropped to 3-5 is Big Chuck Mockler from Clips and Dip, who's going to help extend out this pain. The human centipede of pain. Were there 8 people attached for the 8 losses or for the 8 games so far with 5 losses? Charles, how you doing?
I don't know. I'm not doing very good in context of the Clippers, but I guess I'm still trying to rationalize it. I know the last guy was talking about would Beal come off the bench. I mean, the Clippers have only gotten 63 minutes from their projected starting 5 through 8 games. So I'm more so frustrated we just haven't been able to see what actually needs help, if that makes sense.
So you're in the camp of we need to see more to actually solidify whether or not this can work. Because let's say you do go away from it too soon, and that actually would have ended up being their better lineup once they give it time and Beal gets back into a groove and is off the minutes restriction. I mean, I get there's an argument to be made. I don't think they can reach their ceiling with this team if Bradley Beal isn't a big part of it.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair because when he was, we basically swapped Norm for Beal. He was supposed to be better at more things than Norm was. You know what I mean? Like just ball handling and that kind of just, it's just frustrating that he has to be on a minutes restriction. especially after the charge, because there wasn't really a restriction before that. He's got to be better. He's getting chances. He tried to shoot out of it tonight, and that didn't work. But I guess hopefully he plays better at his new home on Saturday.
He might have been pressing a little bit to counter the booze going on, and he tried. Yeah. I really hope he got it out of his system because, he has had limited opportunities before this. Tonight, he got all the opportunities he wanted in his 20 minutes. And I'm still wondering, was it only 20 minutes tonight because that's still the minutes restriction, or was it because the Clippers were getting blown out? I'm not sure. But do you have a problem with John Collins not starting either of the last two games when you have guys out that, tonight it's Kawhi and James Harden, critical guys? Some people are still fuming about that. I guess we have to keep talking about it.
I think after tonight, I guess, if we have another night where Kawhi and James are out and he doesn't start, I'm going to kind of be like, what's going on with this? Because if that happens again soon, we're going to need to, we got to manufacture some wins early in the season, right? It's supposed to be kind of the quote unquote softer part of the schedule projected. So if we continue to have two main guys out, we might have to start John Collins at some point in those spots. I know they don't want to, but
why do you think they don't want to?
It's that same thing, right? They want to try and keep some part of this team consistent. And Beal's not going to the bench, and they want to keep one of Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. on the floor. There's a lot of difficult things at play because the main guys are hurt. So all the guys who are kind of interchangeable, or not interchangeable, like Derrick Jones and Chris Dunn, still have to stagger. So it's just it's just a logjam right now.
Did you think when they were up by 3 at the half and Zoo has 16, they were going to win this game?
Yeah, right? I mean, you thought, all right, sure, let's get this one. Let's have this one be the random game that maybe kickstarts something.
Yeah.
And then Zoo, the attempts went away. I thought Beal was going to turn it around, right? You obviously think Beal's going to make more than 2 shots. But Cam Christie looked good, so that was fun. And Collins is still, he had a good game offensively, but
he's had some rough turnovers, man.
The assist to turnover, you talked about it yesterday. The turnovers are rough. And then LA Clippers film was posting a good clip, just kind of, I think, for people who also wonder why he's not starting. He's still getting used to this offense, right? There's clips of him he's trying to be in the dunker spot when he should be in the corner, on the pick and roll and stuff like that. So I think those growing pains are still there too. He is very good off the bench, but like you said, the turnovers are rough and he's still kind of getting used to the system, which is hard to do when everyone who's the main part of this is hurt.
I mean, I've been arguing I will take the bad with the good because overall with him, I think it's still a net positive and I would start him.
Yeah.
I also don't think it's crazy. The stuff Coach Lewis talked about that he did pregame with Law, talking about spacing, and there was a really bad possession defensively by Collins where he was completely lost and running around like a chicken with his head cut off. That stuff's out there. Everybody thinking that this is the cure all. I do not think that is the case.
Yeah, well, that's especially not the case when you look at turnovers, which don't have anything to do with Collins. You know what I mean? He doesn't fix the turnover issues. He doesn't fix the transition defense issues.
No.
So it just feels like, a Band-Aid to cover one thing and then another thing opens up, right? It's not like there's, like you said, it's not one fix right now for the Clippers. They're discombobulated. They're losing games pretty hard. They took a buzzer beater to beat the Pels. They didn't finish that game particularly strong, it's more than a John Collins starting issue, which is shitty.
Yeah, you plug one hole in the leaking ship, 2 more jump up. It's whack-a-mole, whatever you want to say. It's definitely not one thing. Although I do think if they get healthy, like I wouldn't be shocked if Saturday, if Kawhi and James Harden are back and they run Phoenix at home like they did already this season, you know, and they start to turn things around quickly. As much as people are going straight doomer tonight, I think things could turn back in their favor pretty quickly, as bad as things have turned the other way.
Yeah, right. That's what Law Murray says the beauty of the NBA is. You always have a chance to kind of bounce back quickly.
What did you think of Cam
We gotta
Christie?
hope they do. He was great. He was the best part of this game, it felt like. I'm wondering if part of the reason he popped so much athletically on the screen is because everyone around him's maybe moving a little slow for the Clippers. But he had active hands on defense. He had a deflection, you know, like he was confident when he took, you know, with the ball in his hands. He was able to take his defender to the rim. He had a dribble pull up three. Like, it was awesome. I don't know whose minutes he takes or anything. I'm not saying anything like that, but it was good to see.
If CP3 and Bogey don't play better, I could see a scenario where Cam starts getting consistent minutes.
Yeah, I mean, CP3 got DNP in the second half, right? For Kobe Bryant.
Played 9 minutes. And now the game got away from them also, so it's like, I don't know. Was it just like the game was unraveling and Coach Lue was trying anything? But I don't think you can give up on CP3 8 games in. After what he did last season. It could be that he's done. I would have to see more before I make that claim. I got to see more.
Yeah, I said 10 to 15 on our last episode, and I think I'm sticking with that. I'll go like 12 to 15 because that's a good chunk of the season. And if things if the glaring issues continue, 12 games in, this team might be facing some tough questions given how the West is.
Well, it's like this. If he has a bad first stint, the next few games, he may not get a second stint.
Right.
But yeah, I could definitely see that happening moving forward. God, this is do you take any solace in the fact that they have started slow and Justin Rousseau put out the 3-4 record every year starting off, and last year 3-5, or the year before that 3-5 too? Like, are you that down that you don't think they can figure this out and do the 26-5 run thing?
I guess I'm less confident in the possibility of a 26-5 run.
How about 18-3? 15-5. 15-5.
Yeah, I'll take 15-5 for sure. I don't know. I definitely kind of adjust. I'm like, well, I don't think we're going to be a top 4 seed. That doesn't feel super good because we weren't going to be 1 or 2. I didn't really ever think so. I don't know. They're giving themselves the opportunity to really turn the season around, I guess, which is good. That's how I'll feel about it right now.
All right. He is Chuck Mockler from Clips and Dip. There's not many positives right now. It's bad. It's really bad, especially the Lakers playing like this. It really grinds my gears. But Charles, I appreciate you doing this late night hour on, I guess, Clippers Talk After Dark at this point. I don't know what I'm doing still up, but people are just crashing out tonight, as the kids say. So
people are fired up.
Yeah, I guess it's the right night to do this. We got Clips and Dip tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for doing this, Charles.
All right. Thanks, Adam. Have a good one.
There goes Chuck Mockler. I guess I'll take somebody's call from a 480 area code. Mystery caller, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Dustin. I'm in Arizona. I went to the game tonight. I'm a Clippers fan living here. I was at the game. Super disappointing. I got to be honest. I expected this, though, based on the last few games, and I know that the Suns have been playing better, and I'm going to apologize in advance. This might be kind of surface level analysis here, but
that's all right.
At the end of the day, what I saw tonight, whether you're Nico Batum, Bogey, Lopez, Bill, you got to hit your shots, man. Like, you're getting open shots, and you guys are just bricking these things. And in a game like tonight, where the Suns weren't playing very well in the first half, you kind of just had a sense that in the second half, Booker's going to start to cook. Grayson Allen, all these other guys, Jalen Green. And then if that started to happen, it was going to explode. And when you have guys like Chris Dunn, Jones Jr., they're playing their butt off, but you're also relying on them to be your 3-point shooters. That's a problem. I love those guys, but the last few years, we got Harden, but we also had Norm Powell to hit big shots that would stop the bleeding when things started going the other way. Another thing I want to say real quick about Norm Powell and Bradley Beal in particular. I want Bradley Beal to succeed here. We need him to succeed here. But are our expectations a little out of whack? Like, I hear all this talk about him having a promised starting role in this and that. These two players, let's just contrast them this week alone. Norm Powell came back to Intuit Dome, had a tearjerker tribute video, a standing ovation, drops in 20 points and beats us.
And
Bradley Beal
you know
goes
what
back to the
those
Suns.
same Clippers fans were saying at the end of last season? That he hurt them against Denver.
That we had to get rid of him.
So it's
Right.
comparing them to
hear me
each
out
other
here,
right
though.
now, this isn't going to be the finished product of Brad Beal going 2 for 14 or whatever every game. Like, this is his lowest
I
point.
hope you're right.
This is his lowest point.
I hope you're right, but also think of this. They paid for him to go away, almost $100 million. And I'm not saying the part of that is probably because the Suns are just a dysfunctional organization and their front office has had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But that is the reality. And so I guess what I'm saying is when we're talking about him being promised to start, but we're also admitting that he's not quite there yet and he's rusty. I mean, to me, that's kind of a losing mentality. Like if you want to win games, you have to say, listen, Brad, like, you're not there yet. You're going to come off the bench. You're on a minutes restriction. You're going to do whatever. But we need guys in the game that are going to hit their shots and that are just, we need to adapt the team for
Who
now.
guarantees you hitting shots ever? Like, in a game,
You know
like,
what?
I get what you're saying, but in a game like tonight where you don't have James Harden and Kawhi, you're really not going to start Bradley Beal?
I mean, I guess all I'm saying is that, yes, tonight maybe you would start him, but I think in the overall grand scheme of things of what this team is, until he starts showing that he's worthy of that role, I don't see why you would promise him that role. I'm all for letting him.
You promised him that to
and I
get him
hope
for
he gets
$5
to
million when he could have gone somewhere else. If that's what happened,
I guess
if the alternative is you don't get him for $5 million, I think you have to promise him.
I see what you're saying. I mean, I don't know. The other thing I want to touch on, because I hear a lot of people pounding on Ty Lue, and I think, he has his faults, but defense, and when it comes to effort. Tonight in that third quarter, the Phoenix Suns, Grayson Allen, I mean, my gosh, how many open shots did that guy have where no one was around him? This is the NBA. When you play defense like that, lackadaisical defense,
But
anyone's
you
gonna knock down
understand
shots
when
against
they're
you.
getting those wide open shots, it's because somebody else had to come over and help because somebody got beat off the dribble. It's like when you look at the tape, it's like, yeah, that's why it's wide open. It's not like somebody just like completely forgot about him. It's that they had to come over and help because somebody's getting blown by. Which is, it's foot speed, and yeah, you got to take up the challenge of staying in front of your man. Some of these guys, it's going to happen. Jalen Green is one of the quickest guys in the NBA, especially for his size. Like, I get it. The shooting was still incredible. Like, starting 8 for 8 and 4 for 4 from 3, that stuff doesn't always happen in an open gym. But yeah, they need to be better, much better.
The other thing that I think is a little bit of a concern is we were sitting there in that arena tonight with a lead at halftime. And my family's like, hey, we're doing better than I thought. And I said, you're right. But the third quarter is what always worries me with this team. What is it with the third quarter in particular, dating back to last year even, where it just appears like this team is not ready to go coming out of a break or the adjustments aren't being made? I mean, am I imagining this, or was it kind of predictable? And it's just been an ongoing issue with this team for a while
Well, let
now.
me ask you, what adjustment did you
I don't know the answer to that.
What adjustment did you need made in the third quarter tonight?
I mean, I don't know. maybe we don't have the horses. Maybe it's a lineup issue. But like, what did
They
the Suns
started
do so
8
differently?
for 8. They hit shots. Like sometimes people don't want to hear it. They want to think that, oh, we could have done this, we could have done that. Sometimes you're missing your open shots. The other team is making them. And would it surprise you if last season the Clippers had the 4th best net rating in third quarters in the league?
Yeah, I would, but I guess that's because, you know, these types of games are the ones that unfortunately stick with us, you know, and rattle our cage.
But I get that.
I'm
But that's
sticking with
why you
this
got to go
team.
to the empirical numbers, because like you remember the bad stuff. When it goes well, everybody's just like, well, that's how it's supposed to go. Well, it's never that easy.
Well, I'm sticking with him. I know it's early. I hope that it's a chemistry thing and that they can get it figured out. I think there's way too much talent out there on the floor to get the results. I am a little worried though. I mean, I'm seeing these other teams out there, teams like Portland, starting to turn it on, and I'm a little concerned. But I hope we can get the Suns on Saturday. I hope the Dome's rocking and they can get that win. But thank you very much for taking
what was
the
your
call.
name
But
again?
Thank you very much for staying up and doing this.
What was your
My
name?
name is Dustin.
Dustin from Arizona.
Dustin.
People in the chat are just happy
Yeah.
to hear there's a Clipper fan out there representing. So thanks for calling in tonight.
I'm Clipper Nation for life. Love this team. We'll always stick with them.
Let's go, my man. Appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night.
Last call from the 310. Who dis? You're calling in a Clippers talk.
Can you hear me at all? Hello?
Last call. Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
RE from LA.
RE?
Yeah.
RE, what do you want to say?
I just think this team lacks perimeter athleticism for sure. Like, I'm not too worried about 8 games. Like, it's the first 8 games. I've watched enough NBA seasons to know, like, they can go on a run and be back in the mix. It is the West, so that is the only part that's, like, overarching everything. It is a tough conference, but I just think this team lacks, like, a major adaptation to perimeter athleticism. Like, I think that's, like, a major thing you need in the NBA right now, just with all the stars being younger, the way the pace and space era is upon us. Like, and I feel like the Clippers are just lacking that majorly when we are healthy, too. And I'm not sure, like, I hear everybody talking about how Ty Lue is this and that. The only thing that rubbed me the wrong way was that game in Miami. Well, not in Miami, but when the Clippers just played Miami. Mm-hmm. And he said he didn't call a timeout because he didn't want Spoelstra to, like, set up. That was a little, like, offsetting to me. It was like, aren't you a coach? Like, shouldn't you be planning for these type of moments against great defense? Like, shouldn't you have some type of scheme set up? I just question that part for sure. But I don't know. It's the first 8 games. Not too much to panic about. I think that the team can rally, put together some wins, and then be back in the mix. But I understand everyone's frustration and concern for what's going on. It hasn't looked good at all. But I also think we're kind of like the Clippers are kind of a fresh team right now, too, where they're trying to get everyone acclimated and roles set. And the Bradley Beal stuff is a little interesting to me, too, because, like, I don't really know what he does in the NBA, like, well anymore. Like, I guess he can score. He can get you some buckets here and there. But I feel like the only person that can get past their man is James Harden. And that says a lot because even he's having trouble getting past his man. But if he's the only person that can create that advantage past his man, I don't know. We got to start looking at some type of way. But Cam Christie was great tonight. I've been advocating for Cam Christie since the Clippers drafted him. I like what Max did in L.A. For the Lakers, and I thought that Cam could come and portray that for the Clippers as well. You know, like he's a 6'6", young, can move right now, has a solid jumper. I know, like, Ty Lue's not going to play the young guys because of the team that's set up and who's under contract and roles and options we have for the team, but I'm not too sure. I think, like, you know, they just got to catch their footing in the season and feel like everything should be okay, to be honest. But
I think Cam is
day
the
by
one.
day for now.
I think Cam could crack it. because if CP3 and Bogey continue to struggle like this, you need some young athleticism and a guy that can bring it into the front court. His handle looks so good in Summer League. I was so impressed. Cam's got that young professionalism to him with the way he, I guess, conducts himself out there on the court. He just seems like, because when you have an older brother in the NBA already, like, you learn a lot of how this is going to go, being a young player, trying to not just make the team, but try to consistently get run. I think he wants this, so we'll see.
Right.
He's
I think
driven. He is very driven.
Yes. Yeah, I agree as well. And then like the Chris Paul stuff, like I know like it's probably, like he said, he's probably retiring after this season anyway, but it is a little insane seeing him like not do anything with the ball screen, or like he'll call off a ball screen but then just ask for it again eventually, and then it's already like shot clock winding down. There's nothing to do with the ball anymore but throw a grenade to Batum or Collins, and that's not good offense, to be real. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to give this team a little more time, like probably around game 25 to 30, like really starting to see like what this team is and who they're going to be in the conference and how teams are playing them and how the Clippers respond to scouting reports against them and what they don't do well and what you can push them into doing. Like, it's just a couple things, like, to be real. I feel like there's a couple bright spots. Like, for one, I think like there's nothing from up but here from the Clippers. Like, you're 3-5, which isn't even terrible, but it's not obviously where they expect it to be. So I think like it's just a great understanding within the unit and the team, and like, hey, we have to be better, like, or else like this season is done. Like, we have to be better. There's no other exception. So
yeah,
I feel like we're all professional enough to understand like we got to come get this together and get this rolling, because if it doesn't happen that way, I'm not really sure what the future of this team is, to be honest with you, after everything that's been talked about during the summer and all this stuff with management. I'm not sure where this team is going, but I feel like they can push to make a move and be realistic in this conference, to be honest.
All right, Ari, we hadn't talked in a while. I appreciate you. Don't be a stranger.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, appreciate you, man. You have a good day.
Take care. All right, so I want you guys to hear some post-game audio to close things out here. This comes from Law Murray, post-game in the locker room. He talked with John Collins about starting job.
We are 8 games into the season now, and we keep hearing that there's a 10 to 15 game evaluation for how things are going to go. I know that we just got to ask it, like, what's the team telling you that needs to happen for your workload, your minute workload, certain things to happen to get you more involved in what this team's doing?
Yeah, I hope. I'm assuming everybody's aware of the 10 to 15 game thing at this point. In terms of just what the team has told me, is really to be patient, and I'm trying to do that as best as I can and provide winning plays, winning atmosphere, good energy for my teammates, and it's really all I can do. Be the best professional I can.
What happened? I mean, obviously you didn't start the second half, but like, what happened between halftime? You guys are having a lead to. I mean, I think T. Lue had to call 3 timeouts in that third quarter to try and stem what wound up being a 40-point third quarter. Like, you're there, you're on the bench, then you're on the floor, then you're seeing it. Like, can you take us to what y'all were trying to process?
Well, it starts with offensive rebounds. The way they crashed the glass tonight. If we let any team, I wouldn't say dominate, but continue to attack us on the boards like that, the energy and flow of the game changes tremendously, and it just allows the offense to have a lot more confidence because they get more shots. And that was a big part of, I feel like, why they got out.
So, Bob Murray asked the right question. John Collins gave the right answer. He is being patient. He's being a good pro. Clipper Nation feeling differently. They want to see him in the starting lineup now. And he reiterated there seems to be a 10 to 15 game sample size. Is it so set in stone that if you're 3-5, you still can't make a change? Let's say if Kawhi and James Harden are healthy on Saturday, you still couldn't make a change? We shall see. This will definitely test that Coach Lue sample size, maybe more than any other year. So here's Ivica Zubac's post-game in the locker room as I bring you more audio from Law Murray, at Law Murray, DNU. This is where you find it.
When you look at last year's team, we talk often about how number one in defensive rebound percentage, right? Like the playoffs are the playoffs, but the regular season, y'all were really good at that. From your standpoint, why do you feel like that's been more of a struggle this year than it was this time last year?
I feel like teams are shooting more threes this year, and more and more teams are sending more guys to the glass. You got guys from the corners crashing, from the slot. Everyone's crashing now, and it's not only a one-man job. It's 5 guys. We all got to hit, turn, hit, and go get it because everyone's crashing nowadays. There's more and more threes, so there's going to be more long rebounds. There's a lot of those long rebounds around the elbow area, around the nail area that that guards will get if we don't hit bodies. So they send everyone, pretty much every team is now sending at least 3 guys to the glass, and everyone got to be locked in after a shot goes up to find his guy, check him, and rebound.
This is true. It started last year. The possession battle is bigger than ever. And when you take a lot of threes, it's more random sometimes who gets the rebound. It leads to more offensive rebounds for the opposition because there's long rebounds out there. So it's not necessarily, they're not trying to get rebounds. Like a lot more 50-50 balls. More from Ivica Zubac on Bradley Beal.
So we saw in the preseason that 2-man game between you and Brad was looking pretty good. What do you make of tonight and how he couldn't quite get himself going in this kind of a spot?
I think he could have gotten himself going. He still got some good looks. They just didn't go in. It's really hard. He's been in and out with injuries, minute restrictions, so it's hard to get in the rhythm. But I feel like tonight he got some good looks that didn't fall, that's all you can hope for is get those looks that he got, and I'm sure next game will be he's gonna hit those, but he got good looks, so he's gonna hit those.
He got good looks. He's going to hit them. So Law also pointed out that last season the Clippers obviously third defensively. They were first in defensive rebounding percentage. Through 8 games, they're 26th defensively and 18th in defensive rebounding percentage. And rebounding is a part of defense, closing out possessions. So that was the conversation with Ivica Zubac. What about Bradley Beal post-game? We got that for you. Thanks to Law Murray. This is about 7 minutes. Bradley Beal speaking with the media back in Phoenix.
It seemed like the shots weren't falling. I saw you kind of got a little bit frustrated. So kind of talk about the mindset of that as a player.
I'm still in minutes. I'm still finding my rhythm. I'm still finding my rhythm on the team, finding my way on the team. So this is all just like building blocks and stepping stones for me. Obviously, we're in the season, so we got still executing and hit shots and get wins at the end of the day. But I'm not worried about any other team or nothing. Whatever the story is. I'm worried about my health, my teammates, making sure that I'm out there at the best of my abilities and I can contribute in any way I can.
The only reason I ask is because obviously when you came out, fans booing, fans reacting to you, and I'm just curious, how are you taking that aspect of it in?
I mean, that's you got fans that didn't like me here, you got fans that liked I was here. can't please everybody. At a very young age, you drive yourself crazy trying to make everybody happy. So I've enjoyed my time here. I've enjoyed playing for this organization. They made a decision to move on. It is what it is. Don't have any hard feelings. People are going to boo. It's part of the game. It's part of being a fan. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you Saturday.
And what's interesting is that I talked with Ryan before, and he was talking about your influence on him and that you were his vet, and what was it like to be out there playing against him, because he obviously was looking forward to it and didn't see the kind of game that he had tonight.
I'm always, he knows he's my guy. He and those are my rooks, man. So it's always fun to be able to see them grow, see how much they've grown. But then too, just them constantly having fun, constantly embracing the roles, constantly developing, getting better. So I'm just super proud. I tell Ryan, keep shooting the ball, keep working on it. Also the same thing. They're both super spectacular pieces to this organization, young cornerstones that's going to help them continue to push and move forward. But that's a testament to the time I had here, is how my teammates felt about me. So when you ask them, I think your answer would be a little different in a booth.
Yeah, no question.
I was curious with you starting the year with the restriction again, just where's your approach at with the game right now and your stick-to-itiveness, because that's something you always were lauded for in your time here. It's still there, right?
Yeah, it ain't easy, man. To be honest, I was dealing with someone from Phoenix to here, so it's like you accept for where you are, what's going on, and have an amazing team that's going to go above and beyond to make sure to put me in the best position, short term and long term. So it's never easy. It's never the most idealistic thing, especially when you're competing against a former team. You want to be out there all 48 minutes, but I just got to make the best of what I got when I get them. And just do that, man. I can't complain about it, can't bitch about it. Just got to keep moving forward, keep pressing.
When you moved on from the organization, since then, have you had time to reflect on your time here, or did you just immediately sort of move on until from what didn't work here?
A little bit of yes and no. Reflect for sure. Everybody did their what ifs. But you can't live in the past. You can't live in those moments. Obviously, we could have had something special, but it didn't happen. It didn't work. And we all moved on, man. It's probably going to be a big what-if story forever, but at the end of the day, everybody has a story. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm excited for where I am. I'm sure Luke's excited for his team. I'm sure everybody, Kay's excited for his situation. So, it is what it is. You can't be upset about it. You can be mad about it. As a fan, I'm sure you're mad and upset. Internally, I'm sure we are too, because we didn't, we had high goals and expectations too. But chips fall where they do sometimes.
To what you were saying about there being a story, it felt like Dwayne and us were talking to you every day about the latest story, December, January, and especially February. Have you had time to reminisce on just how crazy that was for you on a day-to-day basis, or were you just?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I think if everybody kind of put themselves in Brad's shoes from the day I got here to the day I was asked to leave, you'd be like, I think it'd be a little bit more grace and all that. But I mean, again, you control what you can control. Nobody knows exactly what happens internally here, so we leave that at that, and we keep moving forward, man. Again, I'm not gonna harp on it. I had 2 good years here. I have no ill will of any wishing me bad to this organization at all. So.
It was reported that when you guys were figuring out next steps, you and BG had some conversations. How is that, and just your opinion of BG and the role that he's in right now with the organization?
I ain't there no more. So, but I'm super happy for him. BG's a great guy. He was always respected me in my game from the outside in before he even got the GM job, and when he took over, we had amazing conversations for the first couple of weeks, and then flip. But it was amazing. BG's an awesome guy. I love him. He's one of my favorites in the organization.
We know what it looks like when you're at your best. What's the key to getting there right now?
Get healthy. But more than that, just keep playing, man. Just keep playing. It's gonna come.
How much does the optimism in you lead you to thinking like that? the belief that okay, it will come around.
No, I'm always optimistic.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. That's basketball. Like we wouldn't be pros if we couldn't be mentally tough enough to move on to the next game or be mentally tough on moving the next play. Like it happens, man. Like it's gonna be games dudes might not make a shot, might not get a rebound, you might not, but how you bounce back and how you respond to that is a testament to your character and who you are as a player. So see you Saturday.
Brad, I know you got your faith, and I know you have your belief in yourself. Who in this organization, in this locker room, is giving you the encouragement and keeping you on the steady? What are the things you're looking forward to from the things that you're hearing from the people that you're with now?
There's one thing I will say is, like, everybody's on my ass, like, go, keep shooting, go, don't, just go be you, be you, be you, be you. So that's always encouraging, and that's something I take to heart, and I'm happy to hear that on a daily.
All right. There was Bradley Beal post game. Didn't make any headline statements or anything like that should get any Phoenix Suns fans or fuel the fire that they have had directed towards him, or the ire. I thought he handled that the right way. Unfortunately, he had a really, really, really rough game. And hopefully he comes out of it, because Law Murray had this. Tonight was the 586th game of Bradley Beal's career with at least 14 field goal attempts. He's only had 3 career games with a worse field goal percentage than the 14% he shot tonight on 14 attempts. And those other 2 took place, one of them against the Clippers in 2016 for the Wizards. He was 2 of 16. And then in 2017 for the Wizards against Brooklyn, he was 2 of 15. Tonight, or it should be another 1 of 14 against Miami in 2021. It was bad. Keep firing. Keep shooting. It's the only way to get out of this. 2 of 14 tonight. The Clippers are going to encourage him to keep firing until we get the real Bradley Beal. Real deal Beal. I think it's going to happen. I'm pretty confident in it, as long as he gets healthy. He'll find his rhythm. Not overly concerned about that. There was one question that Law posted that was posed to Coach Lue. I'm trying to see if there was a complete post-game interview with Coach Lue. I would love to see that. Ooh, I got it for you. It's only 3 minutes long. Let's listen to Coach Lue post-game.
That first half seemed like it was going to be a defensive struggle. You guys had the lead at halftime. What was the breakdown defensively that allowed Phoenix to score on their first 10 possessions of that third quarter?
We gave some threes early on, and then we was in scramble mode. They had us in closeout situations, and they were driving and kicking, and we couldn't really keep up with their pace of how they attacked the paint. And we allowed a lot of threes, and to give up 40 points in the third quarter, it's hard to come back from that.
The threes have been in, not even when teams make them, just the volume of it, because I felt like that was an issue against the Suns the first time and against the Blazers.
Yeah, they got 49,
games that you won. Like, why do you feel like your defense is allowing that level of that volume of threes and the kind of threes that you're giving up?
Yeah, teams are looking and they're hunting threes. That's one. But, I think, when you have your rotations and you're in scramble mode, like, it's hard to really get out to shooters, especially the way everybody's shooting the ball in the league nowadays. It's just tough to get to them. So, JVG preaches every day, like, just close out, don't fly by, because when you fly by, it's really it's 5-on-4 on the backside. And so that's what makes it tough. I think we had like 4 or 5 of those in that third quarter. We just flying by guys, and now they're putting it on the floor. Now you got to cover for him, and now you're in rotation and give up a 3.
T. Lou, so Cam Christie, 25 minutes, 17 points. I want to talk about the young guys you bring in today. How do you evaluate their performance with Kobe Brown? Do you think that they can get additional minutes throughout the season?
Yeah, I thought their energy was good. I thought we got down 25. They came back, cut it to 10 or 11, and just the style of play. The effort, their energy, and so that's kind of like why we stuck with them because they cut the lead down to 11. So just kind of roll with those guys. But I love their intensity, attention to detail. I thought was really good, and so attention to detail was really good, and that's it. I'm sorry, guys.
And also, Brad, had a rough night shooting. But it looked like he got to his spots. It really wasn't the fact that he was just not getting to his spots. Just shots wasn't falling. Did you kind of feel like that today?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Just getting to his spots, getting there with pop, with pace. And I thought he did a good job. And he turned down a couple as well. But I thought he made some good passes, some good plays. And it's going to come in time. Just got to continue to stay with it. He can't get frustrated. And it's going to be a process.
That's good.
Coach Lou, post-game, continue to stick with it. It's going to be a process. It's going to come with time. This is the hope right now. We're only 8 games in. I'm not giving up on the squad. I'm not. I've seen the worm turn before, especially early in seasons where the Clippers are prone to slow starts. Lomroy did bring up that after tonight's game, the Clippers are one of 6 teams allowing at least 43 point attempts per game. Of those 6 teams, the Clippers are allowing the highest percentage of made threes, 39.3%. So that's what he was discussing with Coach Lou there. The defense is what's most alarming to me so far this season. Sometimes it's because of the turnovers, but other times they just don't look nearly as connected enough. We'll see on Saturday. You heard Bradley Beal see you Saturday multiple times. I think he wants to respond. Clippers and Suns, 7:30 tip, pregame at 6:30. Appreciate you guys hanging out this long. It's been 2 hours and 38 minutes on this postgame show, which started before the game was even over. I'm Adam Oslin. Talk to you at 6:30 on Saturday.